Peeps, Dan at Starlight here. This is my new playlist where I talk sort of casually about Bitcoin and Steem, my two favorite cryptocurrencies. So today I want to talk about the scaling debate with Bitcoin, and I want to talk about Steem and the recent price rise. So first of all, the Bitcoin scaling debate. For me, from my perspective, it's just not that big a deal. I mean, don't get me wrong. For some people, it's a major, major deal. And there's a bloodbath going on between Core and Unlimited right now. But I mean, it's been escalating for years and years and years. And something's going to happen. Like, Bitcoin's not going to go away. It's going to scale one way or the other, or it's not going to scale. But I'm not worried about it. I do think that the price might take a hit because there's a lot of people afraid of it. But Bitcoin is going to be Bitcoin, and it's bigger than all these people's opinion about how to scale it. And even if it doesn't scale, maybe it just becomes a store of value that actually costs a lot to make transfers on. So I'm not too worried about it all. I mean, if there is a fork, then we either have Bitcoin Unlimited, or Bitcoin Unlimited becomes an altcoin, or it doesn't even go anywhere. So it's like, really, what's the worst case scenario here? The worst case scenario is the price crashes for a bit while forks take place and scaling attempts take place. But there's a lot of people that have put a lot into Bitcoin, so much compared to all the other coins. And these people are invested emotionally, they're invested financially, and they're going to buy the dip. And there's so much belief in Bitcoin still, even though I know that there's other altcoins coming up. There's room for all of these coins here, and Bitcoin's still by far the biggest beast on the market. So I'm not worried about it. That's basically all I have to say. I don't want to get into the scaling debate. There's enough smart people in there, and there's enough dumb people that have no idea what they're talking about it already. And I would just be another dumb person adding to that conversation. So I don't have any desire to be that. I'll let the smart people fight that one out. People who actually understand what's going on, and try to avoid the crazy fear talk that's going on constantly about it. Because, it's not going anywhere. I still have a lot of faith in Bitcoin. Not 100%. Over time, shifts can happen, major shifts, but it's highly unlikely to me. So anyways, I'm still very, very confident in Bitcoin. I think it will find a solution. It'll find a way of scaling. I don't know what that will be, but it will happen. In my opinion. This isn't investment advice, always. On this channel, I have to make it very clear I don't know what I'm talking about. But, let's have a conversation. These are the things I'm thinking about, and I know I like to watch other people doing these videos, so I'm just going to start putting out my own perspective on these things now. So enough with Bitcoin. Basically, wrapping up Bitcoin. Scaling debate's happening. It is a bloodbath. I'm not really scared. Big picture, I don't think there's too much to worry about. Now, Steem it. What's going on? So it's a crazy world on Steem right now, because some of the worst news happened last week, at least perceived as worst news, and that is Dan Larimer, the creator, the technical creator, along with Ned Scott, left the CTO position at Steemit, which caught everybody off guard. And it's kind of crazy because I think in many ways Steem is really at an all-time low. The price was as low as it had ever been. The CTO, co-creator, leaves, and the community's having a hard time reaching consensus about the upcoming hard fork and just about how to do everything, like how to make the platform work. So the funny thing is, the day after Dan Larimer leaves, all of a sudden the price spikes up. And I think a lot of us initially thought, oh, this is a pump and dump by somebody, some whale that wants to exit the market, or just some other whale that's not even in the market that realized they could take advantage of this very, very low volume situation and pump it up and then dump it, which may be what is happening. I mean, the thing about Steem is that pump and dumps happen slower on the dump side than other coins because everybody has their Steem locked away in Steem power. So it still might be what it is. Or it could be, everyone's fear in Bitcoin driving all the alts up and people actually seeing Steem for what it's worth, which is one of the best technologies out there as far as crypto tokens goes. It's really, really an amazing cryptocurrency outside of the platform Steemit. And I think it's very safe to say is still undervalued. So it's a great place to put your money if you're hiding it from Bitcoin, especially if you missed out on the Dash, Ethereum, Monero spikes, right? Because it is risky buying any of those right now because they have all increased by multiples in the last, 6 months to just this last little bit of time. So those are risky places to store your Bitcoin because all of those have the potential to fall 100, 200, 400%. Whereas Bitcoin's likely to not fall like that. It could fall, 50%. But, I mean, where are you going to put your money? So that's a distinct possibility that Steem rose because people are looking for a place to put their money inside of the crypto sphere to hedge against Bitcoin. And I really don't know. But what I do know is that Steem is still a long-term good investment, just like Bitcoin right now. Might take a short hit, but it's still a long-term fantastic investment. Steem right now, anywhere under 15 cents for me would be an amazing buy for Steem long-term. 20 cents, still great. I mean, I see Steem as likely to be over $1 within a year, maybe 2 years. But within a year or 2 years, Steem's going to be over $1. And, 5 years, it could be worth many, many dollars. So I try not to sweat the little price changes down here. But, yeah, I mean, we will see what happens. Personal opinion, I feel like Steem will probably go back down, revisit 10 cents at some point. But again, if you've just bought long-term, great investment. And in the meantime, it might not go down to 10 cents again. And even if it takes a while to get down there again, powered up, you'll be making interest. You'll be making more Steem by holding Steem power. And you get to have fun on this awesome platform, which is still in a state of flux. I mean, what you see on Steemit right now is not Steemit. It's a bunch of experiments happening. And, if this whale experiment stops, for instance, you might see your vote not worth much anymore for a while until they figure out how to fix it again. So there's a lot of things. And I think for those of us who have been in the Steemit community for almost a year now, seeing a whole bunch of new users show up right now is kind of like having a really, really messy house and then having a whole bunch of unexpected guests show up and thinking, oh no, I got to clean up the house really, really quickly and shove everything under the bed. Because literally all of us who are here know that Steemit's got a lot of issues right now that it's working on. And it's not like really ready for the mainstream to find out. So when all these people started showing up because of the price spike and are still kind of showing up, it's great. But it's good for you guys if you're just showing up to realize, like, we've just swept a whole bunch of stuff under the bed that you might not notice yet. We're working on it. It's going to be good long term, but it's going to be a bumpy road as we figure out all these things still. You know, this next hard fork, the distribution issues, all this kind of stuff. So if you're new to Steam It, bear with us. And that's all I have to say today. That is about 10 minutes of me talking off the top of my head about Bitcoin and Steam. And I'm going to do this more regularly on this playlist. My other playlists, which I'm going to create, will be probably less conversational, shorter, and more to the point. This one is just, if you're interested in these discussions and you want to hear people, myself, talk more about it. I'm not an expert, but you know, these are the thoughts roaming around in my brain, and this is the outlet. So feel free to leave any comments you want, and I'll try to work whatever you guys are thinking about into the future of this discussion. Anyways, anyways, whatever. I can stop talking now. Dan and Starlight, peace out.